What's going on, guys? Aaron from Top Tier Gaming here, and today I am bringing you a duel between Dinomorphia, piloted by myself, and Floowandereeze. So, I uploaded a Dinomorphia deck recently. A lot of people seem to enjoy it, and a lot of people seem to enjoy the duel videos with commentary where I give my thoughts and sort of explanation of what's going on in the game, and try to sort of explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? And just providing commentary over the duels. So I want to do that with a Dueling Book game today because I can't always set up live duels, even though I really want to upload more duel videos on the channel. So I figured Dueling Book is going to be a fine place for me to sort of do what I want to do here. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on into this duel. So we're going to start here. I do win the rock, paper, scissors, which is quite nice. And I do decide to go first. Obviously, we are on Dinomorphia. So first makes a lot of sense because we draw a lot of back row. Opening hands. I have Torrential Tribute, Skill Drain, I'll show his hand as well. Theresia, Diplos, and Ferret Flames. Pretty good hand. Ferret Flames is a really cool card, I'll explain that later. And he opened Gold Sarcophagus, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, Apex, Eglin, and M-Pen. So he opened a lot of big tributes. But yeah, we did go first. And I do want to say that Dinomorphia does have a really good matchup into this deck overall, so that is something that goes on with this. Skill Drain just has an amazing matchup into decks like Floowandereeze. I'm going to start my turn off with a Theresia. He's going to think here. And Theresia is going to resolve. We're definitely going to set a domain from our deck because that is the main card of our engine. Of course, we also have no idea what we're playing at the time. I'm going to go ahead and set Torrential, set Skill Drain, set Ferret Flames, which Ferret Flames in the Dinomorphia deck is so good. It's just such a powerful card. Our opponent is going to draw D-Shifter for turn. They are going to start their turn with Gold Sarcophagus, to which I say that's good. No response there. And then they're going to chain D-Shifter. D-Shifter normally doesn't hurt this deck at all, if they activate it first turn, but in the way he's doing it here, I sort of, am left with the decision of how I'm going to use this domain, because I don't want the monsters I send off of my domain to just, be banished. So we're going to chain the domain after a little bit of thinking there. I'm going to pay my 4K. He's going to think, and he's going to say reading the card. And then he gave me the thumbs up, said it's good. I'm going to dump Diplos and Theresia, of course, to fusion summon. Going to go ahead and summon Kentragina, the boss monster of the deck, and this card is such a good card, and it's really powerful, especially since we drew the Skill Drain. Our opponent paused the game, said he read it wrong. He wants to Ash, which I say he already said it was good. You can't really let your opponent make a play and then suddenly you don't like the way the play has turned out, so you decide you want to Ash Blossom. So I go ahead and let him know, hey, you already said it was good, and he's like, okay. Obviously he should have Ashed this effect, and it would have been really helpful. We do have the Skill Drain, so I don't know how much it would have affected the current state of this game. But yes, ashing domain is definitely the right play, but once you say something's good and they make the play, you can't really just go back and change it. He's going to Gold Sarcophagus the Robina, and he's going to start by summoning Eglin. He asks if the summon is fine. I'm going to flip the Skill Drain here. Skill Drain just beats this deck by itself, and we have a 4K beat stick on the field. And he's instantly going to admit defeat. His hand was also kind of weak, drawing D-Shifter as the 6th card and opening 2 really big Floowandereeze monsters there, or tributes I should say. One of them was an Apex Avian. So yeah, it's kind of tough because in that hand, you just have to hope I had no interruption, right? Because his hand is really fragile, especially in the sense where he opened 2 big tributes and the D-Shifter and a Gold Sark. His hand doesn't have a lot of answers to my set back row, so it was going to be an uphill battle from him anyways. But here I think we're going to go second, so I side for go second, and of course, to no surprise, I'm going second here if Floowandereeze is choosing to go first. I open Raigeki, Prosperity, Judgment Strike, Brute. Not a bad hand for go second. He opens Eglin, Judgment, Ash Blossom, Gold Sark, and Advent. His hand is pretty dang good, not gonna lie. Eglin, Advent, Gold Sark, very powerful. I, of course, am running no hand traps in this deck, so he has free reign to do whatever he wants. He's gonna Gold Sark the Robin, and then he's gonna summon the Eglin, use the Robina as Chainlink 2, get his search. He's definitely gonna go through just his Floowandereeze plays here. Gonna go ahead, summon the Robina, activate its effect. Then he is going to grab the Barrier Statue. Very standard turn for the Floowandereeze deck here. He's going to summon the M-Pen. M-Pen effect, Eglin Chainlink 2. Eglin is going to come back to hand, and he's going to search the Dreaming Town. No surprise there. He's going to normal summon the statue off of Eglin's effect, activate Robina, which he actually can't do, right? Because Robina was already activated because he Gold Sarked Robina. I'm pretty sure he just misplayed there for sure. And by misplay, I mean like he's just not able to do that. But we didn't catch it, so he's going to Advent, banish the Robina that should already be banished. Normally he would have to banish the Eglin here. And he is going to add Map, which of course Floowandereeze want to get Map on the field. I am a normal summon deck, so that is a thing. He's going to set Judgment, set Map, or Dreaming Town, activate Map, and pass his turn. I draw Domain. Domain's an amazing card, not in front of Statue, because we cannot summon anything but Wind. So we're going to go ahead here and activate Prosperity. Tell him I'm going to banish 6, to which I do. I just banished 6 cards here. And I banished, you know, some of the like link stuff in my extra deck, like Unicorn Access Code, and I banished some Xyz like the Ark Rebellion and the Raiders Knight. Don't think I'm going to be able to activate those pretty well this game, so he's going to respond with an Ash Blossom, which fair enough. I'm going to set 4. I mean, seems like a good play. And here my thought process is, I want to go into the end phase to force the Dreaming Town, and then I can Raigeki after the Dreaming Town, essentially getting rid of Dreaming Town and his entire board. In hindsight, this is super greedy. I think I was just tunnel visioned on him going and grabbing Ryza off of Eglin, and then bouncing a back row in end phase, and I'd be like, okay, Raigeki. And I sort of, you know, didn't account for the fact that it could be, you know, Apex Avian. So it's a little greedy, and I could be punished here, quite potentially, and he's going to activate the Dreaming Town, to which I'm like, yes, this is sort of how I wanted this to go, right? Because I was planning on Raigekiing after this. He's going to Eglin, you know, Chain Link to Robina, which shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't be banished this time, but he shouldn't have gotten the search for Map, essentially. And then he's going to add back the Robina. Eglin's going to search Avian. Then he's going to normal summon the Robina. Robina effect, search Stree. And because he added Avian here, we essentially just get super hard punished. I mean, like now the Raigeki doesn't do anything. He's going to add back Eglin. Main phase 1 continues. I'm thinking, because a lot of thought process went into this end phase, because I was like, dang, I really messed up. I should have Raigeki'd Statue, because that was the main thing giving me troubles. And the fact that we didn't get the Statue off the board is so bad for us, because we don't have any out. So I'm going to Raigeki, hope he misplays. I'm going to pass my turn. We do have Solemn Judgment, so that's really nice. And he is going to Duality here. I'm not going to Judgment a Duality, let's be honest. He's going to get Cosmic here. And he doesn't choose to actually blind Cosmic first, which is a spoiler, but, you know, he's just going to save Cosmic for a card like Skill Drain or any really good Floodgate I have. He can normal summon the Stree. I'm just going to hope that he doesn't have anything else here. I'm just going to Solemn Judgment the Stree. He lets that go through, and he's going to activate the Map, and of course, we have no out here with the Statue. I can't use my Domain, so we're going to Game 3, and that, I think a lot of it really came down to me not Raigekiing the board instantly. Definitely got super, super greedy there. Was not something I should have done. We definitely should have just Raigeki'd and let him Map in the main phase after we set our cards, and be like, okay, if he rises, that's big deal. If he sets up Avian, big deal. We had, like, Strike and Judgment and Domain. We should have been in a really good spot. And that game could have gone, you know, the distance if, you know, everything worked out how it should have. But we made a big misplay, so that duel definitely, for aspiring Dinomorphia players, don't get greedy with your Raigekis, I guess. You know, good tip. We're going to go into Game 3 here. I definitely sided for going first, so I put in, like, anti-spells. We're going to open our hand, and it is Torrential, Strike, Torrential, Skill Drain, Anti-Spell. So no engine, but 5 very powerful trap cards. All pretty good versus the Floowandereeze deck. Don't know why I couldn't think of that. He opened Ash, D-Shifter, Toucan, Stree, and Map, so definitely a good hand on his part. I mean, if he played against a combo deck right now, he just would have won. I mean, Shifter, Ash, like, oh my goodness. And then Map, Stree, Toucan, he has a name. That's really good as well. So I choose not to set the Torrential because I know I set Anti-Spell, and if I top deck like a Fossil Dig, I really need to be able to set it onto my board so I can, like, get a dinosaur, right? Because I'm really looking for engine at this point. He's going to Shifter at, you know, while I'm trying to pass my turn, and that's fair enough. He's going to draw Advent. His hand's pretty dang good. I'm going to flip Anti-Spell in the standby phase, to which he chains the Advent, and he's going to go ahead and banish the Toucan and add Robina to his deck. So that's really good because obviously, if he didn't draw that Advent, he had no starter play, right? Because of Anti-Spell, he couldn't use his Map, but Lucky for him, he had a very nice top deck in the form of that quick play spell there, so he can get his engine sort of rolling as long as I have nothing else. He's going to go main phase, and he's going to summon Robina, ask if the summon resolves. I'm like, yeah, and he's just like, flip the skill drain. So we will oblige, we will flip skill drain. I mean, this card is absolutely insane. So yeah, now he's going to add back the Toucan, set map, go battle phase. I'm going to take 600. At this point, without engine, you know, there is a chance he just beats me with this Robina, so that is the world we live in right now. We're going to draw for turn, and it is going to be a Diplo. So my thoughts here are, wow, this skill drain is a nuisance because now I suddenly need my effects. And this is why in my deck profile I also said things like, you know, sometimes skill drain isn't all that because you really want to be cycling into your Theresia and Diplos sort of snowball, but we can't do that here. I actually choose to pass, which I think was a mistake on my part. I think we should have just swung, but I was kind of worried about like losing this Diplos without getting an effect because I know I have a set Torrential. So my thought is I can use this Torrential under skill drain to actually get my like ball rolling, but I want him to commit a little more first, and I think that was initially my thought. So we can go ahead and activate map, use map's effect. I say that's good. I mean, I have a skill drain on board. I'm not very afraid. He's going to go banish the Egglin and normal summon the Toucan, chain link to Egglin. I say think. And I'm going to go ahead and chain link 3 Torrential because I don't want him amassing a board presence. Now, at this point, he could just summon a big tribute. But I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and Torrential now because I want more space on my board, which was another thing I was thinking about. I'm going to need to set more traps eventually. So he's going to normal summon the Egglin, Toucan 2, fair enough. Going to go ahead and add the Toucan back to his hand, add the Robina back to his hand. Did he misplay that? No, I think that's fine. I think Robina hadn't activated yet, so he can go ahead and swing for 800, and he's going to pass his turn. We draw Strike, which, you know, fair enough. Strike's a good card. At this point, I am just going to summon this Diplos. He doesn't activate the map. Fair enough. He's not going to get much out of it, but it would have gotten another, you know, monster out of his hand that could potentially be tribute fodder. Like if he had a big one, like a big tribute summon, and then he top decked the one that can tribute my cards, maybe he'd be somewhere, but obviously he doesn't, so fair enough there. We're going to swing Diplos into the Egglin, like 200 points of damage there. We're going to set another Torrential, and we're going to pass, because I believe we already have a Strike set as well. He's going to draw another Advent, not very good in the face of Anti-Spell, and he's going to set Statue, which is fair enough at this point, because Diplos only has 1,000 attack. We are going to draw Fossil Dig, which is huge because that gets me into my engine a little bit more. We're going to set that. We can't activate it because of Anti-Spell. Swing with Diplos, meet the Barrier Statue, can't out that. He's going to draw another bird. So, unfortunate for him, he's not drawing good cards like Cosmic Cyclone here. He's just drawing a bunch of like small Floowandereeze monsters, but this is what Skill Drain does versus Floowandereeze. This is just sort of what you're met with there. We're going to go ahead and activate the Fossil Dig. It's going to get Ash Blossom, and we do Solemn Strike it. Yeah, that's what the strike was going to be for, because we want to see sort of a good monster here. And while there's a couple of things I can do here because I have set Torrential, I can normal summon this Theresia and just make like a rank 4 and start beating over his board. But I also have the set Torrential, which means I can do some cheeky things, which I'm going to normal summon Theresia, activate his chain link 1. He's going to say okay, so no map. And then I'm going to chain Torrential, which this will allow my Theresia to actually resolve, which is what I wanted. Because I want to be able to set Domain, because Domain with Skill Drain is probably just game. I mean, that's just how Dinomorphia work. I'm going to go ahead and activate Diplos and Theresia in the graveyard, so I'll just summon them out, and then we are able to go into the battle phase and get some good damage in. And then I'm going to set Sonic and Strike, and I'm feeling very confident at this point. He draws Dark Ruler, that's another spell, there's not much he can do there, and he just goes ahead and admits defeat. The writing's on the wall. I'm just going to activate Domain and, you know, just swing. So yeah, that is going to be it for Dinomorphia versus Floowandereeze. It was an okay game. We went to game 3, and, you know, the misplanned game 2 was tough, and game 3 just showed really what Skill Drain does against the Flunder deck, and sort of how you can set up, you know, your Dinomorphia boards. But yeah, that is going to be it for this duel. Hopefully, I'm actually pretty low DB ladder. I don't play Dueling Book almost at all, so hopefully after I play some more games and do more of this stuff, I'll be higher ladder and we can see some better, more quality games. Although I think the only misplay was actually on my part this time, so maybe not. Maybe I'm the problem. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I want to do more duel content, and this is sort of an easy way for me to do it, where I don't need to set up like live duels. Of course, I do prefer live duels, as I'm sure many of you guys do as well. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know if you guys enjoy this down below. This has been Aaron from Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.